University faculty meet at the cupola to protest chancellor's pay increase. Traffic in downtown could get a little bit worse due to a major project. And Pirate football drops to 4-6 after a loss to USF. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of TEC-TV. I'm Caroline West. An ECU student has been charged with conspiring to kill his father. The Wake County Sheriff's Office arrested 23-year-old Stephen Franklin and his mother, 45-year-old Tammy Franklin, and charged the two with felony conspiracy to kill Donald Webster Franklin. We're still working to find more details, and we'll have the latest updates in the East Carolinian newspaper and online. The city of Greenville is working to directly link two major areas within the city. It's called the 10th Street Connector Project and would connect the medical district with East Carolina University. It's a $50 million project that began this spring and is expected to be completed in May of 2019. The city of Greenville, Vidant, and ECU each donated $2 million to help the construction begin. To learn more about the details of the project, visit theeastcarolinian.com. Did you happen to notice the purple wristbands that were passed out this week? Well, these were to celebrate Pledge Purple. This is a week-long event that focuses on education and advocacy, specifically targeting harassment, bullying, and sexual violence. Last year, SGA sponsored a campaign called It's On Us that was started by the Obama administration to spread awareness about sexual assault and violence on campuses. The week-long event ends on Friday at the ECU volleyball game against Memphis. Kai's going to have more on sports a little later. To learn how you can make the pledge, check out Thursday's paper or visit our website. The news of the chancellor's pay increase has made a buzz around campus, and many are upset. On Tuesday, ECU faculty members wore black and met at the cupola. They're disappointed in a one-time $750 bonus for faculty and employees in comparison to the chancellor's nearly 19% pay raise. Just last week, ECU's Faculty Senate passed a resolution that opposed the recent raise to give the chancellor Steve Ballard. The resolution says the Senate formally disapproves of the taxpayer-funded pay raises that were distributed across the UNC school system. The Senate says they disapprove of the raise because the wages for other university faculty remain the same. The resolution suggests that Ballard should donate his $63,000 pay increase to the ECU Foundation and use it as scholarship funding. The Board of Governors said the raises were needed to bring chancellor's salaries close to the projected market value that were reported by a consulting company. The Senate requested the president of the UNC system to hire a consulting firm to conduct its own market rate study of faculty salaries at the university. We'll keep you updated as this story develops. In Tuesday's paper, we asked you, should UNC system chancellors have received a raise? And 80% of you voted no. Our administrator reporter Anna Parrish is in the studio today to talk about the continuing search for the new chancellor. So Anna, what can you tell us?
Well, in October, the search committee met to discuss the beginning part to the chancellor search. They hired a search firm to help reach a variety of candidates. This past week, the leadership committee group also met to discuss a tentative timeline for the search process. The goal of the leadership committee is to craft a leadership statement which outlines the profile for potential candidates. This committee also talks about surveys to help get community feedback. From now until December, the committee plans to get the surveys out and have a draft for the leadership statement, which will be presented to the search committee in mid-December. To keep up to date on the search for the next chancellor, visit theeastcarolinian.com.
Thank you, Anna. To stay up to date with all information regarding the chancellor, just search keywords Chancellor Ballard on our website. Over 900 veterans currently attend ECU. The university has received 2 rankings by national organizations for its commitment to veterans and military service members. The Military Times ranked ECU 28th out of 125 for its Best for Vets colleges. ECU is also named a military-friendly school that recognizes schools that are doing the most to embrace service members, veterans, and their families. The Pirate Veterans Organization on campus is selling flags in honor of veterans and current military members. Flags will be displayed in a field of honor outside Joyner Library until November the 18th. All proceeds will go to help homeless veterans in Greenville. A former ECU football tailback returned to the field during Saturday's game against South Florida. World War II veteran and class of 1943 graduate Nick Zuras conducted the coin toss. Zuras enlisted in the Navy in 1943 after he led the Pirates to an undefeated season in 1941. He was the commander of a rocket boat with a 7-man crew when they stormed the beaches of Omaha and Normandy. So Kai, tell us what else happened during Saturday's game.
Well, Caroline, on the field, let's just say the game was basically like this. Throw it away, But we're going to go on to something different, and Tyler be here a little bit later with football. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And folks, it is my favorite season, college basketball. The season is here, and the Pirates are gearing up for the long haul. We start the sports segment off with the basketball season preview from me. Coming into this season, the women's basketball team has big expectations.
Well, our expectations are to do very well in our conference and make it to the Sweet 16.
The team last year ended in the second round of the WNIT, the Pirates' third consecutive season of 20 wins under Coach Heather Macy. Macy understands the value of consistency in her program.
We believe that consistency is the truest measure of performance, and I think you'll see over the course of the last 3 years, we've proven to be a very successful program and a very consistent program.
Senior forward Itiana Taylor was huge for her team last year. She finished second in points per game and led the team in field goal percentage and rebounds per game. She knows she will have to be just as big this year.
My personal goals is to lead our conference in rebounding and also lead the team in a leadership aspect and also lead the team in rebounding.
If there was a player that played better than Taylor last year, it was senior guard Jada Payne. Payne led the team in scoring, three-point percentage, free throw percentage, while being second on the team in field goal percentage, rebounds per game, and blocks per game. Not to mention she was third in assists and fifth in steals. Payne says she's just ready to get on the floor.
I'm excited. I want to make this our best season yet and my best season here as a Pirate, so I'm excited for it.
The goals Payne has set for herself are pretty lofty this year.
I was picked preseason second team on conference, so I think a goal of mine would be to, make it first team again and really to just lead my teammates in any way that I can on and off the court and get these wins.
Macy said her team is going to be on the road a lot this season, so she's anxious to see how her team performs in Corpus Christi this Friday.
It's going to be a big test for us. First off, we're going to go to a much warmer environment. So we're on the road 19 times this year, so our ability to go into different environments and respond to that challenge is going to be key.
Pirates will only be home for 2 games this month before hitting the road for December. Macy urges the fans to come and see the team.
Well, we won 26 consecutive games in Minges Coliseum, so very few teams like to come in here and play, and so we were only able to schedule 2 non-conference games in Minges, so I hope our fans will come out and see us in November because the entire month of December we're going to be on the road.
The women's basketball team will be in competition Friday and Saturday in Corpus Christi, Texas, before returning home Tuesday to play Alcorn State. Later, I will give you a season preview from the men's team. Also, as I said, Tyler Kellebaugh, the GOAT, is in the studio to recap the backbreaker against USF. And just a friendly reminder, really, we are the plug. Really, we are the plug for ECU athletics. And now we go to the volleyball. The ladies broke their losing streak after extending it over the weekend. On Friday, the team continued their downward spiral by losing their 7th straight to USF in straight sets before rebounding with a much-needed victory on Sunday against UCF in 5 sets. The team is now 11-14 heading into Friday night's home match with the Memphis Tigers. The Pirates will then welcome in the Cincinnati Bearcats for a Sunday afternoon match. Match. Like fire? What kills fire? Is it hokey pokey? No, wait. It's water. I need water. Water like swimming and diving, which is on a tear with another 2 wins under their belt this weekend in Bowie's Creek. Creek kind of sounds like cross country. Well, not really, but cross country is competing in regionals this weekend. So there's that. And there's this. Soccer season is over, but I did head over to the pitch to speak to Coach Rob Doningworth to ask him about the season and what's going forward. To see more of what they told me, head on over to the eastcarolinian.com. And now we're going to go to the tennis court, where the men's team concluded their fall season in Wake Forest Invitational. The team went 16-8 in singles competitions and 4-5 in doubles. And on the women's side, the team went to Chapel Hill to play in Kitty Harrison Invitational for their final fall season match. The team went 3-12 in singles matches and 5-4 in doubles matches. And now before we go to football, I went to talk to Coach Lebo and Caleb White about the upcoming season. The Pirates come into the season off a 13-19 season, which was their first season in the AAC. Coach Jeff Lebo does not have any expectations for his team currently.
Right now, I'm more worried about how we're going to score and can we keep from turning the ball over? We've had some turnover problems in practice, which is typical at this time of the year, but we got to do a better job of handling the basketball and figuring out how we're going to score and defend.
Lebo says if his team is going to be successful this season, there are 5 things that need to happen.
Well, we got to rebound the ball better. We got to find an inside scoring threat, and we got to be able to shoot the basketball, find a third perimeter shooter consistently, and then we got to take care of the basketball.
Junior wing Caleb White led the team in three-point percentage and was the team's 3rd leading scorer last year. He reflected on last year and said he thinks this year will be better.
I think last year, towards the end of the year, we really came together as a team and we started playing our best ball last year, which was the main positive that I took out of it. And we have a lot of pieces back from last year. Everybody's a year more seasoned, a year more experience. So that's the good I took out of it last year. But I think last year we gave a lot of games away late in the games. And this year to be about finishing and capitalizing towards the end of the games.
Lebo is nervous going to the first game with Grambling this Friday.
The first game's always a little nerve-wracking, especially since I don't have any film on Grambling. They have a lot of new faces.
White says he just wants to see his team be competitive in this game and this season going forward.
Compete night in, night out, play our hardest, just to be efficient on offense and to scrap on defense. Play as a scrappy team I believe we can be.
Basketball will be in competition this Friday at Minges to play Grambling State. Game time is listed at 8 p.m. The Pirates will then compete this Monday against Charlotte and Minges at 7 p.m. And now we're going to pitch it off to Tyler to tell us about the backbreaker that was the USF game this weekend. Tyler?
Things went from bad to worse this weekend for East Carolina as head coach Ruffin McNeil's squad dropped its 3rd straight contest, this time to USF. The 22-17 defeat was the Pirates' 2nd consecutive home loss, dropping the Pirates to 4-6 overall. After the loss to Connecticut a week prior, McNeil tried to rally his team by directing their focus on just playing the game. The coach felt that thinking less and acting more would benefit the offense, but USF did not allow his efforts to amount to anything. With James Summers at quarterback, the offense didn't manage to gain a first down until the second half. The first points of the game came off a safety that was entirely Summers' responsibility. With the pass rush coming and Summers standing deep in his own end zone, the quarterback showed his inexperience by throwing the ball away without escaping the pocket. He was flagged for intentional grounding, resulting in the safety. The offense's only touchdown was scored thanks to a fumble the defense forced and recovered on the 7-yard line. Summers, with the Pirates already trailing 9-0, only needed one try to get into the end zone for a 7-yard score. He finished the day with 2 touchdowns rushing, but did not throw a score for ECU. The Pirates managed to seize a late lead following a 40-yard field goal by Davis Plowman midway through the 4th quarter. Trailing 17-15, USF quarterback Quentin Flowers connected with receiver Rodney Adams for a 67-yard touchdown pass. The Bulls went up 22-17, and ECU never threatened to score again. In the change of pace, ECU never let fellow quarterback Blake Kemp enter the game. Kemp was named the starter when the season began, although problems with turnovers have left him sidelined. As Summers' offense stalled, it seemed the Arizona native would replace him at any moment, but it never happened. On a positive note, the Pirates' defense once again put together a stellar effort. The 67-yard score was the only big play USF managed all evening. Senior Zeke Bigger showed why some believe he could be picked in the early rounds of the NFL draft. Bigger finished the game with 12 total tackles, 9 of which were unassisted. After the game, a shaken Ruffin McNeil said he was stunned by the loss. ECU has a week off before they face the hapless UCF Knights in Central Florida. The Pirates will need to rally around their seniors and win out in order to make a bowl game at 6-6.
We want to thank you for checking out today's show. Our shows will be posted every Thursday at theeastcarolinian.com. For all updates between shows, visit theeastcarolinian.com and follow the East Carolinian on Twitter, like us on Facebook. We'll see you next week.